Alexander the Great conquered most of the known world before the age of 30. Yet the deepest relationship of his life was not with a queen, but with a man. His lifelong companion, Hephaestion, was described by ancient historians as Alexander's equal, soulmate, and emotional anchor. When Hephaestion died, Alexander shaved his hair, declared empire-wide mourning, and attempted to deify him. Ancient Greek writers openly compared them to Achilles and Patroclus, a heroic same-sex bond widely understood in classical culture. This was not rumor. It was recorded history. Leonardo da Vinci, the ultimate Renaissance genius, never married and never wrote of loving a woman. In 1476, he was formally accused in Florence of sodomy with another man, a charge punishable by death at the time. Though the case was dismissed, the record remains. Leonardo surrounded himself with young male apprentices, studied male anatomy obsessively, and filled his notebooks with idealized male forms. His silence on romance speaks loudly, especially in a society where heterosexual marriage was expected. Michelangelo did not hide his love. Later generations hid it for him. He wrote dozens of passionate poems to a young nobleman, Tommaso de' Cavalieri, describing longing, devotion, and emotional torment. These poems originally used masculine pronouns, until Michelangelo's family edited them after his death to make the beloved female. His art glorified the male body, and his words made his desire unmistakable. Oscar Wilde wasn't merely suspected of being gay, he was destroyed for it. At the height of his fame, Wilde openly loved another man, Lord Alfred Douglas. Their relationship led to a public trial where Wilde was convicted of gross indecency. He was sentenced to 2 years of hard labour. Prison broke his health, exile broke his career, and he died poor, disgraced and brilliant. Wilde paid with his life for refusing to lie. Virginia Woolf lived in a marriage, but loved a woman. Her relationship with poet Vita Sackville West is preserved in letters filled with desire, tenderness, and longing. Woolf transformed this love into literature through Orlando, a novel about gender, time, and identity that defied every rule of its era. She did not whisper her truth. She wrote it into history. Frederick the Great was a military genius and Enlightenment philosopher, and a king deeply uninterested in women. Forced into marriage for political reasons, he lived separately from his wife for decades. His letters reveal emotional intimacy with male officers and companions, while his court quietly acknowledged his preferences. Frederick ruled one of Europe's strongest states, while never living openly as himself. King James I translated the Bible and wrote love letters to men. His correspondence with male favourites contains language so intimate it shocked even his contemporaries. James publicly elevated these men at court, sparking political resentment and scandal. His reign shows a contradiction history rarely acknowledges: deep religious authority alongside openly expressed same-sex affection. Tchaikovsky's music aches with emotion because his life demanded silence. His letters clearly express love and desire for men. Yet in Tsarist Russia, exposure meant ruin. He entered a disastrous marriage to hide his sexuality, and many historians believe his mysterious death was tied to blackmail over his orientation. His symphonies became the voice he could never use. Sappho lived over 2,600 years ago, and still defines lesbian identity today. Her poetry describes romantic and erotic love between women with extraordinary clarity. She lived on the island of Lesbos, the very origin of the word lesbian. Ancient scholars never doubted her meaning. Modern discomfort did. Emperor Hadrian ruled Rome and loved one man above all others. Antinous, a young Greek companion, travelled everywhere with him. When Antinous drowned mysteriously, Hadrian collapsed in grief. He declared him a god, built cities in his name, and filled the empire with his statues. No emperor had ever mourned like this, and none ever loved so visibly.